You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hi, if you're struggling with your relationship or you just can't seem to find the right one, author Gerald Manuel has written an enlightening new book entitled How to Identify Your Spiritual Soulmate. You may order a copy today from Amazon.com or at BarnesandNoble.com. This book is sure to answer many of the questions you may have. Thank you and God bless you.
Hi, my name is Kimberly, and I'm the owner of Exquisite Charleston, which is an online magazine here in Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm on Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.
You are listening to PositivePower21.org with Jerry Royce.
What up? It's your boy Kano Kingston.
Hi, this is Angel Sessions.
Hey, this is Pat. Hi, I'm Teresa Powell.
Hi, Jerry. This is Ira Sandro Carter.
Hi, this is Phil Powers.
Hello, this is Teresa Bobby with Jerry Royce Live.
Hi, I'm Philip Barron. I'm live on the Jerry Royce Show.
Hey, what it do? It's your boy Houston Saint.
Peace, this is Dahlia the poet, spoken word artist.
Hello, this is Ramon Marquis with Jerry Royce Live.
All right, everyone. You got Robin Lynn, and I'm keeping it live right now on Jerry Royce Live.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up? This is a award-winning podcast with the greatest podcast on earth. Thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide on Internet Radio, where you get your positive on. So when it's all positive, it's all power. That's positive power. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Think you know how drugs get in those little brown bottles? Think again. Set in the green hills of western New Jersey, inside the gilded halls of power of a U.S. pharmaceutical company where decisions are worth billions of dollars and human lives worth less. Nicholas Harding, a young executive at Marshall Pharmaceutical, finds his career, family, and life in jeopardy. The Farmhouse, a suspense thriller novel by Bill Powers, published by Donna Inc. Publications, available at Amazon.com or DonnaInc.org. Go to Bill's webpage at www.author.BillPowers.com.
Are you looking for the next great read? A book filled with love, passion, betrayal, and intrigue. The award-winning novel, Season of Change, by Tamika Patrice Kane, is sure to satisfy your literary sweet tooth. Check out this must-read book reviewers are calling uplifting and emotional. And exceptionally great read, deeply intense and thought-provoking. Order your copy today, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon.com or at www.tamikapatrice.com.
Are you an author looking for promotional services or a reader looking for a great read at low prices? In this competitive world of books, Writing Royalty Promotions is dedicated to bringing authors and readers together to build a greater respect for literature through our various promotional services and online bookstore. So head over to WritingRoyaltyPromotions.com and check us out.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to PositivePower21.org. I'm feeling awesome. I am blessed. I am happy. I am Jerry Royce Live, and I'm worldwide. And you're listening to episode 349 with Kimberly Bowman, owner and editor of So Exquisite Charleston, an online magazine from Charleston, South Carolina. And before we read about her bio, we want to hear a word from one of our special sponsors. And that'll be my man, James and Shay. He has a show on Saturday on Blog Talk Radio, and we will be bringing him to Positive Power 21.org one day. Check him out, y'all.
Are you looking for a great book of poetry that is romantic, heartfelt, and full of male emotion? Then get Thoughts, Love, and Reflections by James K. Deshay. That's Deshay. Go to www.jamesdeshay.com. You will enjoy Thoughts, Love, and Reflections.
Hey everyone, this is Tanika Gonzalez, spoken word poet. Whenever I'm online, I'm always listening to Jerry Royce Live. You can find Jerry on www.spreaker.com. Positive Power 21.
Hi, I am Arthur Crystal Alexis, and I'm on Positive Power 21 with Jerry Royce Live. Woohoo!
That's right. You tell them, Crystal. That's right. You listen to Jerry Royce Live worldwide on positivepower21.org, and we're going to read Kimberly Bowman's her resume. Well, not her resume, but a short little bio about her. So Exquisite Charleston. So Exquisite Charleston is a digital magazine that covers urban culture, lifestyle, and entertainment in Charleston, South Carolina. So Exquisite Charleston most popular features include Charleston cuisine and dining, event coverage, local arts and entertainment, and community issues. Since 2013, So Exquisite Charleston vlogs and interviews have been received over 40,000 times. That is so awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Kimberly Bowman. How you doing, Kimberly?
I'm good. How are you, Jerry?
Well, you heard me. I'm feeling awesome and blessed. How about you?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah. All right, so good to have you on the show. Now, my audience, we like to know something about. I got a lot of relatives living in the Maryland, D.C. area, Baltimore, and, we kind of nosy. We like to know people before we sit down and break bread with them and talk to them. So we want to know, who is Kimberly Bowman?
Well, that's always a hard question for me to answer. Well, basically, as I already said, I'm the owner and editor of So Exquisite Charleston. I am 22 years old. I live here in Charleston, South Carolina. I work full-time. I always tell myself I never have a day off because even when I clock out, I go and put on my second hat, which is So Exquisite Charleston, which doesn't let me sleep at night. That's right. It's a blessing, but it's my little baby, so yeah.
That's right. All right, so you're 22 years old. All right, well,
yes.
Before we get into your publication, because I know everybody's eager to know how you got started in it, we want to know, what led to you, going down this road, because, the magazine business is a vicious. Whew, what an industry to be in now. So
it's
tell
very,
us, tell us, what's up?
I've always told myself ever since I've been younger that I was going to own my own business. I wanted to be that, lady in the business suit that goes into her big fancy office building and gets to tell people what to do. That was always my dream since I've been younger. I just never really knew what I wanted to do. Now, I went to school. I went to Susquehanna University in Pennsylvania and graduated there a year and a half early with my bachelor's in communications. When I graduated from school, just as any other student, I was very afraid. I didn't have a job. I moved back home. I was like, I can't find a job. I was like, life is over. I was just feeling so incredibly depressed, and I was just so down on my luck, and I was really beating myself up. I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. I love journalism. I love communications. I love talking to people. I want to be able to do that. But no one wants to pay me to do it. I always, I had a dream one day where I was like, I'm just going to start my own business. And I always tell my mother she was like my second opinion. So I was telling her, I was like, I want to do this magazine. I want to do all this cool stuff with it. And it's just going to be great. what do you think? And she was just like, Kimberly, whatever you want to do, I am so down for it. So I think that was March 15th of 2013. I made an account on WordPress.com, and So Exquisite Charleston was born. So it really evolved from something to where I was just interviewing my friends that, you know, made music locally and things like that. It really turned from something like that into, you know, what it is now, like something that's, you know, a force that's really trying to build a presence in the community. You know, it's just not a music magazine. It's not an urban culture magazine. It's a magazine for everyone. You know, there's recipes if you like to cook, you know, there's politics, there's editorials. You know, I want to be able to, you know, give someone something that they can read, whether it's on their daily commute to work or, you know, before they go to bed at night or while they're hiding from their boss at work, you know, something fun, something different from any other magazine that you've ever heard of. So
wow, that is so motivating. Young person stepping up. That's right. Now, what was some of your motivation, you know, to do this? I know you kind of wanted to, you saw your vision of you walking in this big fabulous office and telling people what to do, but early on, you know, going to school, middle school, high school, you know, what were some of your influences to get into publishing? Was any early on?
Well, I've always looked up to my mother, and she laughs whenever she hears this because she doesn't think she's a role model. It's just because, you know, when I was younger, you know, I was always that little girl that just adored her mother. I was a mommy's girl. I was never a daddy's girl. I mean, I love my dad, but I was always a mommy's girl. Yeah. So I would always tell her, like, oh, I want to be like you when I grow up. I want to do everything that you do. Everything. And the best piece of advice that she's ever given me, and she told this to me when I was very young, she was like, Kimberly, you can't be like me. You can't do what I do. You have to be better than me. So, and I just took that and I just ran with it. So, and that's really, you know, where my motivation came from. I've always been very self-motivated, just because I never really, outside of my mother and my parents, I never really had many role models. I don't have the best relationships in the world with my siblings, so I kind of had to be my own coach, my own motivational speaker, and just, you know, I just kept seeing, you know, myself walking into this big fancy building. I was like, this is going to happen. I'm going to do this. And I just had to be optimistic because, I mean, there were so many times, and there's still a lot of times now that I just, you know, I break down and cry. I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, this is so hard. But, you know, you have to remember, you know, all the work that you put in and, you know, the dream that you have, and you just have to keep your eyes on the prize. That's really what helps me in, you know, just being optimistic, like, yeah, you know, this may happen, but look at, you know, you're able to do this now. You can do this. So I told myself I'm gonna moonlight as a motivational speaker.
That's right. We need them though. Just right here on Positive Power. Anytime you want to send a webinar in on YouTube, we accept it. Now, yeah. You talked about your siblings. So what's the ages of your siblings? Are they much older than you? So what's the deal?
They're much older than me. Like, I'm the baby of the family. I'm the baby girl. So all of my siblings, they're adults. They have their own families, their own kids. You know, they have their own lives. So, you know, when I came into the picture, it's just kind of like, yeah, another baby in the family. Like, you know, I'm off in college doing this. So I never really had, you know, an older sibling that I could really like. I mean, I have relationships with some of them now, but I never really had that relationship to where, you know, I can look up to one of them because, you know, we all make bad decisions and bad choices, and, you know, the things that they've done and the things that I want to do are two totally different ends of the spectrum. So a lot of the times they can't understand when I call them and like, oh, my God, I had this dream, or, oh, my God, I want to do this now, I want to do this, I want to do this. They can't really understand it. So that's I think that's really one of the most difficult things I've ever, you know, encountered, just trying to share your dream and share what you want to do with people. And, you know, they love you, but they just can't understand it because they can't see it for themselves. So yeah,
that's right. That's interesting you bring that up because that's some of the stumbling blocks a lot of us have that are entrepreneurs. You know, you have this dream, this vision that God placed on you, and you're so excited, you just want to tell everybody about it. But, and I think that's when seminars and webinars are so important, because sometimes you listen to some of these gurus, they're going to say, hey, what he's gave you is for you only. Mm-hmm. So it's like you got to find someone else. It's almost like you have to find a group out there somewhere that you can sit with and tell your ideas and you bounce it. It's almost like you need to put your team together. So you do have to be careful with that, because they can say, oh, you can't do that, it's too expensive. They always doubting your idea's existence. So sometimes you do have to be careful. You can kind of destroy your dream.
Yeah, that's definitely been a big issue for me, just because, everything that I do is so exquisite. The interviews, the event coverage, a lot of the articles, the graphics, the whole maintenance of the website, the mobile app, the print issues, all that's me. Like, that's no one else but me. I have a couple of other writers that I recruit to write, on certain topics that I'm not familiar with, but a lot of the manpower behind it, all of the manpower behind it is really just me. So I've always been that very guarded person, and, when you share things like that with people and they don't understand, it's discouraging. But I've learned, growing up and getting older, that, just because they don't understand or just because they may want to tell you all the negative things, it doesn't mean that they don't believe in you or they want you to fail. It's just that they don't understand. They can't get it. They can't comprehend it, because it's not their dream. It's your dream. So.
And lucky for me, when I was in that business for a couple of years. We started out with hard copy newspaper. It was a community publication in a real rural area. And it was exciting. The community embraced us. We kind of introduced it to the community because we wanted to include them. It was my brother, my dad, my mom supported. She invested in it. My sister didn't have anything to do with it, and we didn't have any cousins or uncles. And we had a lot of families members that was in publishing and printing, but they didn't embrace it. They just look at it like it's going to be a lot of work and nobody's going to make no money. But you'd be surprised what comes out of baby ideas, because that was actually an idea I came up for a school project, when I was in junior college. So, community college. So, hats off. Who knows where you're going to be standing at pretty soon, running for office and all this stuff. You need these things to set up your roadmap. So that's awesome. All right.
I try very hard to, map it all out.
That's right. Have fun and get a chance to. And I'm going to tell you, you're pretty young, too. You never know where you're going to go, because you're going to have to hold down a full-time job, until you're able to support yourself with this publication. But you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And a project like this is major project. So and if someone else comes to you and say, hey, I'd like for you to hit mine up, and I'll pay you this kind of money. It's going to be exciting because you can do it because you're doing it now. So you never know when that opportunity, come a-knocking. So you're ready for it. You got the gloves on, the hats, everything, the boots. You're ready. That's awesome. Now tell us before we take our break, where did you get the name? That's a mouthful.
Well, it's kind of funny where I got the name from. I'm a hip-hop rap. Well, I like all types of music, but I really like hip-hop and rap. And when I was in high school, I was a really, really big Lil Wayne fan. And him and this other rapper, they had this song that I just randomly downloaded for some reason. It was called So Exquisite. So, they kept, in the chorus, they kept saying exquisite. And I was like, oh, I like that word. That sounds really cool. So I kind of took that name, and it always just kind of stuck with me. I'd be scrolling past the song in my iPod, and I'd be like, wow, I really like that word. So when I, first came up with the idea of doing, my own publication, my mom was just like, okay, well, what are you going to name it? And so I was like, that exquisite word, it popped right back into my head. And originally I wanted it to be Exquisite Magazine. But I looked online, did my research, and there was already another publication out there called Exquisite. So I tried, So Exquisite, and someone already had that. So I was like, okay. Wow. So, once I started to really put things, put pedal to the metal, once I moved back home, I really love the city of Charleston. Charleston, anybody all over the world knows Charleston as a very diverse, very cultural, very historic town. It's a lot of diversity. It's a lot of history. It's a lot of people here. And I wanted to create something that represented that diversity and that melting pot of culture and, way of living and way of life, and not just based here in Charleston, anywhere. So I still wanted to hold on to the word exquisite, and I looked it up in the dictionary, and the synonym for it is excellent. So, exquisite means excellent, and Charleston to me means diverse. It means melting pot, and it means like a mix of culture and history. So Exquisite Charleston is excellent diversity. Diversity in topics, diversity in people that we interview, diversity in events, diversity in things that we do, diversity in things we support, diversity in every way. So that's the short version.
That's right. And you can visit you at soexquisitecharleston.com today, right now, and everybody, you can check it out. If you forget where to find her, it'll be in her landing page right here on Spreaker.com/positivepower21. That's right. For those of you that are listening to the show on your mobile devices, you'll see it right there inside of the information about this interview in episode 349. That's right. All right. We're going to take a quick break, Kimberly. When we come back, we're going to talk some more about your magazine, how people can find you, how you're marketing. There's somebody out there right now probably got this idea in the back of their head. They said, oh, wait a minute, this 22-year-old, no, she didn't go start a magazine, and I'm 35, and I've been sitting on it for 10 years. All right, we're going to tell them how they can do one themselves, right? So you're going to tell them all about it, how to get it started. All right, everybody, we're going to hear a tune from my man Mark Staggers up in Washington, D.C. He just performed Sunday. Unfortunately, I didn't get to make it. A lot of stuff was going on around here. Didn't get a chance to make it up to D.C., and he has a song released called, and this is a piece that he did, I think it's like a Luther Vandross piece. So amazing. Check it out.
Listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hi, I am recording artist Marilyn Dunn from St. Louis, Missouri. If you are looking for some soul-stirring, anointed, spiritual, and heartfelt music, visit my website at www.marilyndunnministries.com. Or you can also find me on CD Baby, iTunes, and Reverb Nation. For booking information, contact Mr. Kevin Dunn at 636-856-0551. That's 636-856-0551.
Hi, this is Angel Sessions, and when I'm in town, I listen to Jerry Royce Live, PositivePower21.org, where they play my favorite music.
That's right. You tell them, Angel, because I just love your album. That's Angel Sessions, bestseller on Amazon. That's right. You come on Positive Power 21 and tell everybody your story, and they're going to support you. Maryland, D.C., Virginia. That's right. We run it strong. Great supporters of small businesses. That's right. They got all the 8A companies, too. All of them. That's right. And I'm telling you guys, if you're looking to have your music played and run it through our program, we definitely will support you. We have a lot of artists on the show. They being well received, and I appreciate everybody who's listening to Positive Power. I want to give a shout out to Kimmy. That's right, Kimmy out there in Kansas City. She's doing her thing, bringing on a number of podcasters. We got Michelle Edmond coming on board. We got Tea Time coming, a.k.a. T Spence out of Hollywood, coming on board. We already have my man, Curry Hines, with the Hair Morning Show. So you guys get a chance to check out the Hair Radio Morning Show with his team. That's right. He's up to, I think, episode 95. He just got started, too. He runs his shows first thing in the morning. But if you can't find him out there on Blog Talk Radio, you can tune in right here on PositivePower21.org. That's right. We mobile friendly. But if you really want to be mobile friendly, go out to Positive Power. That's right. On Spreaker.com /Positive Power 21 and listen to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide. And I am feeling awesome, Kimberly. How you doing? You doing all right? You still okay?
I'm good.
All right, don't fall asleep on me now. All right, Kimberly is a graduate of you said Susquehanna University in PA?
Susquehanna University in Pennsylvania.
Man, how long did it take you to be able to say that?
It was funny because when I first went, told my parents that I was going there, and I said the names of my dad, and he was like, "Say that again." He was like, "Oh, that's gonna take me some time to learn how to say that."
Yeah, I should have practiced that one. So I didn't even spell it right, so that's the problem. Well, we want to remind everybody, check you out on SoExquisiteCharleston.com. Now, you talked a lot about Charleston. Now, the community. Now I know you said you wear all the hats, and your publication is exclusively online, or people can get like a little hard copy or a postcard where to find you. What's going on with that? The marketing part.
Well, as far as marketing wise, it started off, So Exquisite Charleston started off as primarily just a website. It's still primarily just a website, but there are a lot of other components to it. I also have a mobile app now. You can download it onto any mobile device that you have, same name, So Exquisite Charleston, and you'll see my logo. With that, you can get to the Facebook feed that we have, and you can download any of the print digital issues of the magazine, which has exclusive content, exclusive interviews. It's a more, how do I describe it? It's a more smaller version of like a regular magazine. It's not a lot of information in there, but usually just a couple of articles and interviews and some advertising from local businesses and upcoming events. The print issue, which I kind of kept primarily as the digital issue for right now, usually I release that to a couple of select local businesses. If you would like a print issue, you can always go and visit the website and order a print issue to be sent to you, or you can just contact me. My contact information is on the website as well, and I can have one sent to you personally. So,
all right, awesome, smart. So you're doing your thing out there, so you know what you're doing. Now I'm out here on your website. Of course, a lot of us going to need some help with the spelling, so I'm sure you make it easy for them just to click on it, hyperlink everything, and they go right out there and check it out. Now let me ask you, Kimberly. Now, I studied corporate communications, and man, those teachers, those professors, they are so hard on some of us that was trying to be so creative with the names of our company. And they just always keep saying, "Keep it simple, keep it simple."
Mm-hmm.
Was it? I mean, I know you told us the story, how you came up with the name, but was it? Did anybody challenge you with that and say, "I don't know, Kimberly, you should shorten the website," or what did they say to you about all that, about the spelling and the length of it?
Mm-hmm. Well, as far as the name of the website, I never really shared with anybody really the name. I'm a very stubborn person. My mom can probably attest to that, but I'm a very stubborn person. So if I have my mind set on something and you try to change that, I'm going to be like, nope. I'm going to stick with how I wanted to do it.
That's right. I mean, I understand. I'm like that too. You know? I learned the hard way.
Yeah. So it was funny because my advisor in school, she said, well, why don't you do some internships? You can just take your time with this. And I was like, nope, I already know what I want to do. I know how I want to do it. Let me do this. I got it. I can do it. I've always told people, I'm a very resourceful person, so I can have my back against the wall, but I'm going to find a way out to the sunlight. I'm going to stand in the sun, and everything's going to be okay. So, but, with anybody, and even, not just with, my professors and everything, my friends, my relatives and things like that, a lot of people were just kind of like, whoa, you're taking a big step, you want to start a business, maybe you should wait, maybe you should do this. I already had my mind made up since I was a little girl that this was what I was going to do. I have nothing to lose. This is my dream. I'm putting everything on the line to be able to bring this to life and to show people, how amazing it is to, dream something and actually put in the work to, bring it to life. So
that's right. It is exciting. And I love your website. It's so exciting. You have so much going on. Now, one thing I could say, you did keep the website basically, look like, you walking in someone's home. You got wallpaper. You got the beautiful logo with the, what's that, a silhouette of your skyline. And so Exquisite Charleston. Awesome logo. I mean, I love the logo. I'm still playing around with logos myself. And I know people invited themselves to try to do one, but it's like I just have to sit on it for a while, and one day, by the time I get
I actually had sorry to interrupt, but I actually had a friend out in London create that logo for me because, with So Exquisite Charleston, I have, So Exquisite Charleston merchandise. That's under the name of So Exquisite Gang. I know it sounds negative, but it's actually a very positive meaning behind it. So
tell us about that.
Okay, well, So Exquisite Gang, really, because, I wanted to be able to have, merchandise for people to be able to show their support because, So Exquisite Charleston really has a big meaning behind it. And I feel like when you put on clothes, when you put on clothes and your clothes, if they say things on your shirts or, whatever you put on, it represents what you value, who you are, and what you feel is important. And I wanted to be able to create something for people to show what they value, their ideals and who they are. So Exquisite Gang, you can probably tickle through the website and find the logo. The logo is people find it offensive, but it has good meaning behind it. It's actually two middle fingers. Let me explain. But, So Exquisite Gang is actually a name that a friend of mine came up with, because I don't see a gang as something that's negative, like Bloods and Crips and things like that. A gang is like a group of people who believe in the same thing, they want the same thing, and, they join together to be able to support each other and to be able to show the world, and share with the world what they feel is important and what they like and who they are. So Exquisite Gang in the middle fingers, it really just represents, not, forget everything that, how anybody else feels, other opinions don't matter. The only opinion that matters is your own. Your dreams, your life, your ambitions, it's yours. You are your own. And the middle fingers is really kind of just like, forget y'all, like, I'm me, accept me, get over it. It's nothing you can do about it. I'm here, deal with it. So that was really the meaning behind the middle fingers. It was funny because I had a lady in Arby's one day, and I was with a friend of mine, and she was like, what kind of gang is this? And I was like, no, ma'am, it's not an actual gang. And I had to kind of school her on it. It's a deeper meaning behind it. And, I know people are kind of like, oh, but it's so much more to it. So it really just represents the same ideals that, I built with So Exquisite Charleston. So.
All right. Good story. All right, now you did pretty good with that website. You got a lot out there. You keep it really simple. People can move around. It's user friendly. You can't go wrong sometimes with WordPress. Some people can go crazy with some of those other templates out there. But I see WordPress keep it simple. Some people can't really do much with it, and it looks boring. It's like looking at a newspaper. You did a real good job with that.
Yeah, I try to, have as much fun as I can with it. For a while, I was really hitting a wall with it because there were things that I wanted to do, and there was a way that I wanted the magazine to look, and WordPress just wasn't cooperating with me, so I really was starting to get very frustrated. They actually, and I don't know if this is the same in other cities, for anyone out there that has, WordPress, there are support groups that they have for people who build their websites through WordPress, and these are people, WordPress representatives that come and they, tell you how to make your website better. They show you how to do things. They teach you codes and stuff like that. It was really eye-opening to me. I was like, oh, where were you guys in 2013? But I'm definitely, I'm working on making it a lot user-friendly, and I'm thinking about going back to school for this as far as designing websites from scratch. I'm thinking about just kind of, just recreating So Exquisite Charleston into something totally different as far as the website design goes for. So it's a lot. So it's one way now. It might be by October, it might look totally different.
Yeah, it happens. When our anniversaries come up, that's when it might be a big change. I've been trying to, I've been playing around, with our website a little bit too, but I think I like where it is now. It kind of, involved into something more. So I can't put my little personal touch on it anymore, but putting my picture on the front look like it's all about Jerry Royce Live, because it's not anymore. It's like different ball game now. Now, I had a big question for you. You mentioned in your press release, and because we got a few more minutes, and we wanted to find out, what you're doing. You mentioned you sponsoring a fundraiser, and why are you doing this?
Well, the fundraiser, it's a scholarship that I'm doing with So Exquisite Charleston. It's the So Exquisite Charleston Scholarship Fund. What I'm doing is a Car Smash fundraiser. That I'm looking to be a very big community event. Basically, what a car smash is basically, you're just getting a couple cars from the junkyard and letting people pay you to smash them. All the money that people pay, and if anybody wants to make donations, all that money is going to go towards a scholarship for a local student here in the Charleston area or in the Low Country, for them to be able to buy books for school, or if they want to take some of the money and go and buy things for, their dorm, whatever they desire. So I'm very excited.
Right. Awesome. All right, and also we want to congratulate my man, the Logan Power Show. That's right. Calvin Logan has joined the Positive Power. Also, you can catch a couple of his shows out there, too. I forgot to mention that, brother. And we're hoping to bring Justice Clark on soon. And maybe we have Kimberly do her webinar one day, and we feature it on YouTube.
I would love to do that. I can talk for hours, as you can promise me.
Not wrong with that. That's how you promote. All right. Now, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get your final thoughts for tonight's show for our guests. And I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing your dream, your vision. You're a young person. I know you have more to give the world and encourage other people to step out their shell and do the same thing. That is simply awesome. All right. Yeah. All right, everybody. We're going to listen to a commercial from my man at Reese World Publishing. That's right. Check them out. They got fiction novels, nonfiction. That's right. They motivate us now. And I think it's a husband and wife business, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe his wife did the commercial. Check it out, y'all.
Are you an avid reader of urban fiction, looking for drama, suspense, and more? Reese World Publishing is dedicated to bringing the world's best literature to our readers.
Urban fiction, erotica, sci-fi, mainstream fiction, and children's literature are just some of the genres produced by our diversified family of authors. You can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and at our website, www.roosevillepublishing.com.
Positive Power 21.org Internet Radio.
You are listening to Positive Power 21.org with Jerry Royce.
All right, family. Thank you for bringing me in. We're talking to Kimberly Bowman. She's the owner, editor. She's everything for So Exquisite Charleston out there in Charleston, South Carolina. There's a lot of talent coming out there. We meeting a lot of you guys. We want to shout out to Linton Smith Jr. He's a radio operator online of his new program called, and actually it's on our website too, and that's Jam Vibes radio station. He's smoking jazz through our pipes, and I love it, man. When I getting down at work, tune that jazz, and he has a great selection. Check him out too. All right. Kimberly, you ready to take us home?
I am.
All right. So excited. What's up? Go ahead. Give us your final thoughts for tonight's show.
Well, I just want to thank you, first of all, for allowing me to come and talk your head off. I definitely appreciate, anybody that's willing to let me come and share my story and hopefully, inspire someone else who wants to start a magazine or do whatever they want to do. It doesn't have to be a magazine. It doesn't have to be music. It doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be that. It's whatever you want to do. I just encourage people to, stay motivated, stay encouraged, be your own guide, set your own path, and just have fun with it. Don't let it discourage you. Be optimistic and just be yourself. And definitely download the So Exquisite Charleston app onto your mobile device. You can go on to soexquisitecharleston.com. If you're interested in ever writing for So Exquisite Charleston, you can email me. My contact information is on the website. You can find me on social media. I'm not hard to find. So. Right. Or if you just want to talk to me, I'm so okay with that.
Yeah, so Kimberly, you get a chance, go ahead and post the flyer to my timeline so I can get that out there so our people can put that out there so people know where to find you. Of course, you can listen to the show. The show is going to be streaming at 11 o'clock. It's going to be streaming probably for a couple of days. You get a chance to hear Kimberly Bowman's show on Jerry Royce Live Worldwide. And hopefully we'll be able to support you so people can check you out, and especially the great city of Charleston, South Carolina. All right, so you know where to find your office, your big bright office. All right, everybody.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, that's right. Keep at it. Just keep grinding. And if you want to stay motivated, you know where to come, y'all. Right? PositivePower21.org. Now I tell them all the time, Kimberly. I tell people all the time. You want to get motivated. You want to get excited. I thought you brought a lot of energy to the show. You was so awesome to be so young, taking on a big animal like that. Because I told you, my family, we was at this for a long time, and now we podcasting. And who knows, we might have an opportunity to hear you bring that to your venue as well. So you let us know whenever you're doing something big and exciting. You got to come on Jerry Royce Live Worldwide. All right, everybody. I tell y'all all the time, you got to check us out and keep tuning in. Share our files, share the shows. One day it's going to be your turn. We want everybody to hear you. That's right. All of Washington, all of Baltimore, all of Virginia, D.C., and all the 20 countries that we stream into via Spreaker.com. Awesome platform. So if you're looking to broadcast yourself and you want to get into an exciting career, whether it's a hobby or make a little bit of money, check out Spreaker.com. And again, we at /PositivePower21. All right, Kimberly, I tell them, this is Jerry Royce Live. I'm worldwide.
Thank you for tuning in to Jerry Royce Live on PositivePower21.org and Spreaker.com /PositivePower21. This is a Royce Enterprises production. And don't forget about replay on Facebook.com /Jerry Royce Live.
All right, stay awesome all week long.